Hey there guys, welcome back to Anthony Reviews, where Anthony reviews. And today we are going to be doing a little bit of a comparison. I decided since now the Star Wars sequel trilogy has wrapped up, I figured I'd compare the releases, the main releases of Rey and Kylo through the Black Series line. So this isn't all the Rey and Kylos, there's so many different versions of them, but their main depictions, their initial releases from each movie, we're going to be taking a look at them. First of all, there's some footage in here. I want to say thank you to my friend Skyler for allowing me to use part of his collection. You'll see what I mean whenever the video gets into it. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the review. In 2015, Star Wars returned to cinemas with Episode 7, The Force Awakens. This new film spawned not only a new trilogy, but also a new line of Star Wars figures for fans to collect. At this time, Hasbro already had their 6-inch line for adult collectors, known as Star Wars The Black Series. With a new film and a chance at banking on Star Wars fever, they renumbered the line and changed the packaging to really make you feel like this was the real starting point. As the years have gone by, we've gotten over 100 new figures from the Black Series line. And of course, with each new film, you're going to get a new version of your favorite main characters. With The Rise of Skywalker releasing last month, I figured it would be a good time to take a look at our two main characters of this new trilogy in action figure form. To start off, we'll be looking at Rey and Kylo from The Force Awakens. Starting with Rey, we see her in her tan garb she wears in pretty much the whole film, despite the very end. Her accessories include her staff, which has become her signature weapon, and the new droid from this film, BB-8. Quick side note, but does anyone find it weird that Rey essentially becomes the co-owner of this droid through all the marketing when in reality it belongs to Poe? Anyways, the figure here is one created before Hasbro started implementing their face scan technology they have today. The result of that is a figure that barely, if at all, resembles the actress Daisy Ridley. Now, I've never been one to focus too much on toy likenesses, but seeing the stuff that we get in later releases, it's hard to look at this one and think it's supposed to be who it is. The most glaring omission here, of course, was her lightsaber. The marketing for The Force Awakens made it seem as if Finn would be her main Jedi hero, when in actuality, it was Rey. After the film came out though, later releases would include the famous Skywalker saber, thus making a more complete depiction of The Force Awakens Rey. Moving over to Kylo, we already see a huge difference between the two. For this figure, Hasbro decided it would be best to go with a soft, good route considering Kylo Ren's costume consists mainly of a hooded scarf over a cloak of woven cloth over more black leather. Because of that though, he could look a bit puffy at times. That's the problem with doing too much soft goods on a figure of this scale. Luckily, future installments would not repeat this. The accessory he comes with is his lightsaber. Known for its downright violent and broken look, this blade attempted to recreate that. It does look a little bit odd with it being connected where it is, but it does make the figure stand out. The detail on this figure is pretty great in my opinion. The helmet looks spot on, which I really like. Overall, these figures aren't going to be anyone's favorites, I'd imagine, but they work as a decent start to this new trilogy of toys. 2 years later, with the new film The Last Jedi, we would get new Rey and Kylo figures. Hasbro had 2 years to improve on what they had, so let's see what they did. Rey here features a new outfit and a hairstyle prominently seen in the later half of the film. Her face, while certainly better than the last, still hasn't captured Daisy Ridley's appearance in my opinion. Her expression here seems very blank, with a slight tinge of disappointment. Hey, maybe she just saw, "Insert Star Wars film you hate here." This figure does still come with her staff and lightsaber, but we do lose BB-8 in this release. In addition though, we do get the blaster that was given to her from Han Solo in the last film. Overall, not a bad version of Rey. Kylo here also does look vastly different. He has lost a lot of the extra cloth and gone for a far more minimal design. Side note, this figure does come with a cape, but I looked everywhere and I just couldn't find it for this review, unfortunately. Here are some other examples to hopefully give you an idea of what it looks like when this figure has a cape. Anyways, back to what I was saying. The lack of helmet in this film also allows the figure to show off their Adam Driver head sculpt. For the time, this sculpt wasn't too bad. But as these things often do, technology made this outdated in less than a year. If you ignore the huge strides in face printing tech, this honestly doesn't look that bad. Not only does his outfit become more streamlined, so does his lightsaber. The blade is a lot more subdued, both in color and design compared to the previous one. I think both of these figures are an improvement over the previous two, and look really nice together. Let's see if this trend continues with the next batch of figures. We have finally reached the end of the line, the rise of Skywalker. And funny enough, these figures feel like the best of the previous two combined. Rey has ditched the gray and gone full white here, presumably to resemble the path she has taken with the Force through the films. Or something like that, I guess. The face sculpt has finally reached a point where you can look at it and say, hey, it's the girl who played Ophelia. Jokes aside, I think this face looks great. I love the extra details over the figure, and I think it poses very nicely. We've also come full circle as Rey is now featured with a droid again, this one being the new character Dio. Dio is hard to stand, and I don't like that. With these recent Black Series figures though, the lightsabers have changed. Comparing the newer blades with previous releases, we see not only a change in color, which if you ask me is entirely too common, but we also see a difference in the thickness of the blade itself. Now this could be a response to blades breaking on fans. That being said, I don't think I've ever had a blade break on me. This isn't a huge deal breaker, no, but I do prefer the style of the previous ones. These are just a little too thick, a little wiffle ball bat, if you ask me. If I had to pick a favorite lightsaber, it had to be the one that comes with the Last Jedi version of Rey. The only other major difference here is that this version has the leather band, or whatever that is to show how Rey presumably fixed it after it was destroyed in the last film. And Rey isn't the only one fixing broken things. Look who's got a new helmet! Or an old helmet. Either way, Kylo definitely feels like a mix between The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi. He has his minimal suit and cape, but he's got his helmet now with an evil, cracked look with highlighted red lines. He also does come with a detachable hood. The hood doesn't sit as smoothly as I'd want it, and I don't ever remember seeing him with it in the film. Besides that though, I honestly really dig this look, and I'm sure Hasbro was totally fine with simply reusing the body sculpt. Despite the changes with Rey's lightsaber, Kylo's is basically the same. Once again, the reuse of parts here doesn't really bother me since the overall look of the character matches how he appears on screen. The only major disappointment is the lack of a much needed accurate Adam Driver head sculpt. A crime I may truly never get over. Now you're probably wondering why I haven't mentioned articulation too much, and that's mainly because I don't know if there's much to say on the matter. The thing with Black Series figures is that they'll never be as good as Marvel Legends in that field, in my opinion. While the screen accuracy of so many complex characters is appreciated, Star Wars fans will forever have to deal with the fact that they just won't be able to match the other lines in their posability. Once again, not a deal breaker, for me personally, but it's something we should acknowledge. I think that's pretty much all I've got to say on these figures. Looking at them all together, I really like the clear evolution at play here. I'm glad each of them have their own distinct feel. There's a lot of similarities, but in a way they feel like the characters on screen. The same people, but different points in their lives, changing and growing. If you haven't picked up any of these, I would recommend the latest ones. I know that sounds sort of obvious to say, but Hasbro has only gotten better with these, and with the new films now complete, I'm not sure when we'll ever get to see them again. So if you're a Rey and Kylo fan, I'd recommend picking these up. Well, there you guys go. Those were my thoughts on the various releases of Rey and Kylo through the years. I know it's been kind of crazy. It's 2015, back when all this started, and now it's all done. It's all over. Let me guys know what you guys think about the various Rey and Kylos, whether it be the figures or the characters, or, this isn't a place to kind of, talk about the movies and which one's better or worse. You can if you want, but, this is more so just about the toys themselves. Keep it civil. It is Star Wars after all. Yeah, guys, I really enjoyed making this video, and I enjoyed looking at these Star Wars figures. Hope you guys enjoyed watching. Make sure to check out some other videos if you'd like. Subscribe if you want to check out more future content of mine. Hopefully next video will be the collection tour, so you'll get to see the whole apartment and all the wonderful toys that I've got located here. Comments like usual. YouTube stuff. Come on, guys. You know the game by now. But this has been Anthony Reviews, and see you guys later.